that occurred some 2,000 years ago. It's an event that so impacts our lives today. Not even today, but impacts our lives for eternity. And so we stop today to take time to witness again the wonder of the cross of Calvary. Amen. Please be seated. That's a reading that Ray read from the Gospel of Luke. Paints a real picture, doesn't it? I'm also going to just read a little bit of that account too from Mark's Gospel. Mark chapter 15, verse 33. Just a few verses, because I want to paint something here. At the 6th hour, darkness came over the whole land until the 9th hour. And at the 9th hour, Jesus cried in a loud voice, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, which means, my God, why have you forsaken me? When some of those standing near heard this, they said, listen, he's calling Elijah. One man ran and filled a sponge with wine vinegar, put it on a stick and offered it to Jesus to drink. Now, leave him alone. Let's see if Elijah comes to take him down, he said. With a loud cry, Jesus breathed his last, and the curtain of the temple was torn in two from the top to the very bottom. And when the centurion, who stood there in front of Jesus, heard his cry, and saw how he died, he said, surely this was the Son of God. You know, when you go to a trial, the most important thing that the judge will put any evidence on is the person who's actually there to be a witness. Someone who actually saw it. Someone who actually experienced what took place. Could you imagine being there that day when Jesus died and just watching those events unfold? Could you begin to imagine what it would have been like? Even as you read this account, the parts that were played by certain people, the disciples who dared to come out of the shadows to witness what was happening to their master. Mary, his mother, and Jesus' own brothers standing there broken-hearted and unable to have answers to what they saw. The crowd who just a few hours before were baying for his blood, now standing silently, slinking back as the events of the day roll on. The soldiers, the Roman centurion. Can I just take you back for a moment and let's step back and think how even this one soldier, this one centurion was impacted by what he witnessed, what happened, and what challenged his heart. the centurion and the leaders of Rome were stationed in this land of Judea. What a day this has been. Shall I tell you what? Now let me explain a little of this story, because who I am and why I'm here, because for many years I've faithfully served the emperor. Rising up from the lowest ranks, I've become the captain of 100 men in a regiment of 5,000. I've fought in many battles, more than I care to remember. I've served in one of the mightiest armies that have ever marched upon the face of this earth. But to be stationed in this land of Judea? My sword has shed the blood of too many Judeans. And there's no honour in that. For they have no force on the battle to fight. They're simply a pathetic, difficult, backward country. Didn't have the sense to bow their knee before the throne of Caesar. Other nations accepted Caesar's right. Other people bowed to the authority of Rome. But not these Jews. Not these Jews. For you was their religion, their faith in this one holy and righteous God, which made their backs like iron and made it impossible for them to bow the knee. Privately, we speculated that we would have to destroy their very temple before they would even bow their knee to Caesar. They're a harsh, unkind, bitter people. But to be fair, not all of them were that way. Some were kind to us. Some of them. Most of the ones that were good were the ones who actually listened to this rabbi whose teachings, whose name was Jesus. We once laughed at this Jesus. He was a little more to us than a wandering itinerant preacher who had nothing better to do than wander around the countryside preaching about love, peace. We won't see that peace only comes at the end of the sword. And love, love was something we purchased. We were men of the world. We understood these things. To us, this Jesus was nothing more than a simple man and a fool. Lucius, my friend, however, he didn't agree with me. He was my friend, and he was a fellow centurion just like I. He told me the strangest tale. It seems that one of his servants was sick and was paralysed and was racked with pain, and Lucius was beside himself. This was one of his favourite servants. And somehow he heard about this rabbi who not only preached about peace and love, but it was also rumoured that he could heal someone simply by touching them. That the crippled were made to walk, and the blind were made to see, and the lepers were made whole again. So my friend Lucius, he sought this man out and finally found him in some poor, pitiful backwater town. He said to Jesus, Jesus, my servant is sick and he's in great pain. Will you come and will you heal him? And this Jesus replied that he would come at once and he would heal him, but my friend Lucius said to him, no, that's not necessary. Jesus, I'm a man of authority, and all you do have to do is say the word and he'll be healed. And it happened. And Jesus turned to him and said, I've never seen such faith in anyone in this country. Go home and the things that you have need of will be done, and this man will be healed. And Lucius told me that from that very hour, his servant was healed. Did that really happen? I don't know. See, I too am a religious man. In my religion there are many stories of great healings and miracles and things taking place, most of which we know are false. So what did I know? And then one day I met this Jesus. He'd been arrested the night before and brought up before the leaders of the temple, and they accused him of being a heretic. They said that he claimed to be the Son of God. And they condemned him to death. But because in this land of Judea, it's under the authority of our land, Rome, they had no authority to execute him legally, so they brought him before Pontius Pilate, the governor. They accused Jesus of being a traitor to Rome itself. They said that he claimed to be the king of the Jews and that he challenged the authority of Caesar himself.